latest, politicking on the latest. Nate Ivy with you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the Nathan Ivy Show, Nathan Ivy Podcast, Nathan Ivy TV, Nathan Ivy Live, however you want to put it. Let's get to it this morning, shall we? Many things to discuss. First off, happy Friday, everyone. Hashtag HFE. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it another weekend in the sun. Today is July 9th, 2021. Great to be with you. We're 1 week removed from the July 4th holiday. Hope you're having a great week. Hope it's been spectacular. You know, the weekend starts on Thursday, not Friday. Thursday's the new Friday, which makes Friday the new Saturday, Friday, something like that. It's been an interesting week. Talked about a lot of things, but in the city of Cincinnati, we've been really focusing, or at least I have been focusing on creating conversations about the gun violence, and we have been discussing it at length over the last few days, and for good reason. But it's a Friday, so typically my style is to, well, first let me tell you this. This show is built for the internet. I have built this show for the internet and the internet culture. So we go flow to flow, show to show, 24 hours to 24 hours, everything that happens in between. But on a Friday, it's typical for me to look back and share maybe 3 OMG stories you might have missed, or as is the case today, 3 stories worth another look. These are stories that you may or may not have seen before, but either way, they are worth another look. We'll talk about that among other things as well on today's show. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Please take a second to like, but in particular, share today's show. Share back on to whatever social media platform you think is relevant. Share it on Facebook if you find this content to be something you can get down with. If not, then you can always take a free ride of my thoughts. You can just be here for the show, for the experience, and let me do the heavy lifting and the driving. If you want to share your thoughts on this particular program today, you got a couple ways of doing so. So right now, there's the number there in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, 513-873-7134. It's a lot of threes there, 3 threes. 513-873-7134. For my people that's on TuneIn and Spreaker, good morning to you. Good morning to you. I appreciate you. Before we go any deeper, man, I want to give you some a heads up on some business, the business of CDM and things that are happening. I want to give you a heads up. I'll go in more detail to my patrons. So if you're a patron, check that feed. I'll go in more detail with you so you know what's going on, what's happening. I appreciate you. Appreciate you in advance. I'm up to 44 patrons. I think that's nearly the most that we've ever had to this point. But my goal is much higher than that. I think very highly about what we're doing here. I think very strongly about all of the podcasters and streamers. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't be working with them. I wouldn't waste my time. I feel very strongly about each and every podcaster and streamer and all the folks that's coming on next, or I wouldn't do it. And I feel very strongly on our mission to amplify Black voices in the greater Cincinnati area and beyond. I feel very strongly about that. And I feel so strongly about it because that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing this for years, and I see a need, and I want to address it. I see a problem, and I want to address it in a way that I feel like I'm uniquely talented and experienced to do so. Feel very strongly about that. And as I told all my patrons, I will do whatever it takes, all legal means, to push our project forward. And I'm doing just that. So check your Patreon feed over the weekend. I'll be sharing some information with you. But as I said, COVID slowed some things down, but it didn't stop a damn thing. And nothing can beat a man, with a plan, or a woman with a plan, and who just don't give up. It's hard to beat a man that never gives up. And I never give up, especially if I feel like it's something that is necessary. So I've been looking for studio space for the last few months, and I've got it whittled down now. It was 3. Now I've got to whittle down to 2 places. Okay. And I'm not prepared. I haven't made a decision yet, but I've whittled it down to 2 places. And this will be a hub for all of the creative ventures for CDM. And again, I'm never going to abandon doing a show. It's just too convenient to just walk down to my studio and do a show. So I'll never abandon that. But, with the podcasters that are based in the greater Cincinnati area, I want to have a hub or a space. I like the word hub, where I can have more control over every aspect of the creative process so that the end result is exactly what we're looking for. And I'm doing just that. And your support, your Patreon support means everything. It means everything. So look for some changes with that. Again, check your feed over the weekend so I can give you more details. I promised my Patreons I would give it to you first. So before I put out to the world and share any pictures, or videos, or anything, I'm going to share with you first. Okay. Before anybody else. All right. So get ready for that. But I'm still looking haven't decided yet. I do know that I've wanted a space. I was planning on doing it. Then COVID hit. And then who's going to an enclosed area to do a live stream or a podcast during COVID? I know I wasn't going to be there. So I assumed nobody else was going to be there. So it just was no reason to continue during COVID. But now that we're coming out of COVID, people are vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. The world is getting back to so-called normal. I'm not really sure I like the word normal. If that was normal, can we try not normal, abnormal, something different? But now, I want to get back out here and make some things happen. At least some things that I have on my mind, on my plate to do. So I want to give you a heads up on that. And I want to shout out my patrons as we start the show this morning. I appreciate your support. I want to shout out first all my patrons, people that were Patreons maybe years ago and then they jumped off for whatever reason. I have no malice, no issues. I mean, hey, any support people want to give, I appreciate it. But as currently constructed, I want to make sure that I shout out all of my people here, starting with Rhonda. Thank you so much. Frankie, Tanika, Kush, Charles, Michelle, James, Monique, Bobby, Brandon, Gerald, Kelly Presley, Barnett, Omar, Valisa, Mason, Jarrett, Marcia, Brian, Sean, Jesse, Ashley, Daryl, K Works, D Wizzle, Tracy, Cassandra, Bozilia, Patricia, Lee, Cinnamon, Zola. Shout out to Zola, Ray, and Renee. Dee Dee, Rachel, appreciate you. Tony, Glenn, Jerome, Asia, Christy, Gregory, appreciate you. The Minister of Information, Gallon G. Gordon, and Jenny, appreciate you so much. It means everything. And I'm going to do exactly what I told you I was going to do. COVID ain't started. That was temporary. That was just like a little speed bump. You ever go through a neighborhood and a speed bump makes you slow down a little bit, but you don't stop, do you? All right, then. Hold on, I'm getting text messages. I got to make sure I keep my eyes on the text because what is this? I got to make sure I keep my eyes on the text because sometimes the audio been acting crazy and stuff like that. I don't want to be pantomiming. Jesse will get on me. Everybody will get on me and make jokes and stuff. So I want to make sure. So again, thank you to all the patrons. I appreciate you. And much more to come. We're just a baby in the woods. These media companies around us in Cincinnati, they've been around for 30, 40, 50, 60 years in some cases. They've been around forever and ever. We just babies. Little babies out here, little newborns, little infants. But we growing every single day. Good morning to you. Again, if you can get down with that mission to amplify Black voices in Cincinnati and beyond, progressive voices, then great. Jump on board in some way, form, or fashion. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I'll say this again. There is 100% a place for legacy media. I reference legacy media. I interface with legacy media every single day. There's also a place for independent, tearless, and fearless media, such as what we're building here with CDM. There's got to be a place for the people that are not afraid to tell you exactly how it TI is. Straight with no chaser. There's got to be a place for that. And we're carving that place out every single day. So good morning to you. And again, thank you for the support of all of my patrons. Some folks been working with me for years. I appreciate you. It means everything. Every dollar goes straight back here. Every dollar goes straight back into what we're doing. And you'd be surprised the expenses that you incur. But you got to spend money to make money. It is what it is. So I want to give you a heads up. So I've been telling you that I had 3 spaces I was looking at around the city of Cincinnati. I've now whittled it down to 2. And I'm going to make a decision within the next month or so about which is the best deal for us, what makes more sense. And then we're going to move forward with it. But I want to give you a heads up. Let me see. Dale writes, "Oh, Nate, now there's a Lambda variant. We're going to end up closed down again if people don't vaccinate." Yeah, I did read about the Lambda variant. Who comes up with these names? Delta variant, Lambda variant. I mean, who the hell's doing this? I guess it's what they do when you're talking about variants of virus or whatever. But now they're saying after the Delta variant, there's the Lambda variant. I mean, damn it! I keep telling folks, COVID is not going anywhere. COVID is here to stay. They ain't going nowhere. COVID bought a one-way ticket to our world, and they aim to stay. Okay, so get ready for it. Get ready for it. It is what it is. Lambda variant emerges. Experts fear could spread fast and resist the vaccine. So all those folks who took the vaccine, these new variants could render your vaccine irrelevant, useless. If you took the Pfizer vaccine, I read an article last night that said that the Pfizer vaccine, in some people, the Pfizer vaccine is losing its potency as time goes on. And now the people at Pfizer is scrambling around. They're trying to get the Food and Drug Administration to give emergency authorization for a booster. Another fucking shot? We're talking about another shot. So get ready for it. This ain't going nowhere. And do you know who I blame? It's not the coronavirus. It's not the Lambda variant. It's not the Delta variant. It's human beings. God's little imperfect, selfish, narcissistic creatures. That's who I blame. The worst virus on earth is human beings. It's human beings. I blame human beings. Run around here arguing about wearing a mask. Running around here arguing about getting a vaccine. Politicizing health issues. I mean, how many videos are there of people that's got thrown out of public places, i.e. restaurants, grocery stores, whatever, retail stores, because they want to argue about wearing a mask? You ain't ever seen the coronavirus do that. Say it with me, folks. Humans worse than COVID. Humans worse than COVID. That's what's going to kill us. It'll be the humans. It won't be some exotic virus. It won't be an asteroid like they say took out the dinosaurs. It won't be the melting of the polar ice caps. Speaking of which, there's a brand new Prime Video sci-fi sort of alien flick called the Tomorrow War. I got a chance to watch it, and essentially, without spoiling anything, global warming plays a part. I put it that way. Damn, global warming. We just can't get our acts together, can we, as human beings? We cannot get our acts together. It's going to cook our goose. Gonna cook our goose. Hey, who's got the best plans over the weekend? What are you planning on doing? What's popping? What's going on over the weekend? Let me know. I might want to step out and have some fun. Damn it! You got some outdoor concerts or something like that? Brandy writes, great movie. I loved it. Great movie. It was. If you like that genre, it kept it going. It kept it going. I read somewhere they said it was one of the greatest alien invasion movies ever. I will say that it's an interesting premise. I thought that the aliens themselves were particularly like they were worth the price of admission, that kind of thing. Because sometimes you get these aliens in these movies, and it's like, this is the monster. This ain't no monster. But it kept me going. It kept me going. I put it that way. So it must have been something. And I don't get a chance to spend a lot of time. But over the weekend I was in Cleveland, so I had some time. Had my phone. I was watching shit. When I went with the fam, I was watching it. So how we looking right now? I mean, I've got the window to the studio open. Just want to bring a little bit more light. Doesn't have to be so damn dark. It's a Friday. Let's lighten things up. Let's brighten up the world a little bit. I want to open the door for you to program the show. So if there are things that are going on that you think are worthy of a second look, another look, we should go over it again. Add it to the conversation. Drop a link. You can go to the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show. It is a private Facebook group, so you gotta. Who is it? You gotta knock on the door. But you're all are welcome. I go there several times a day. I post there every single day. I like to see what the choppers think is important, and I can't possibly see and know everything. So again, shout out to all the people that share and post in there. Shout out to everybody. I hate to run down the names because unlike with my Patreon feed, I don't have a list of name of everybody, and I don't want to shout out somebody and with a list and leave one or two people out because then they'll feel some kind of way. I don't want to do that. So I'll just say blanket general thank you to all the people that be posting stuff locally and all kinds of stuff. It means everything. I see everything, every post I look at. Damn near every post I read, every single post, and it helps to keep me up to date. And the vast majority of stuff we may not talk about because it's only got so much time, but I try to bring everything up. I try to bring it all up. I try to read everything. Let me go to the phones here. Say good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Hey, good morning to you, Black Russia. Welcome. Das Vidanya, I think.
Thank you. Das Vidanya. Thank you. Hey, happy Friday.
Same to you, brother.
Hey, I got a big event this weekend that I'm going to. It's tonight.
Okay.
FC Cincinnati versus Columbus Crew.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be. That's basically the equivalent of the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Cleveland Browns in American football.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure it is. Now, are the Columbus Crew good this year? I'm not following it. So
they are the reigning and defending MLS champions.
Oh,
so they won the whole thing. They won the whole thing last year. I was kind of watching. If it's not Cincinnati, I really don't watch it. But the soccer, I kind of keep an eye on American wise. I just want to see who's good. I really watch the European soccer and the Premier League and the soccer in South America is really good. So American soccer is like sea level anyway. Like even the best team is sea level in America, in the world. But at any rate, so yeah, Columbus Crew ended up winning the whole thing last year. Like they had, they go through the season, they had a little 8-team tournament, and Columbus Crew won the MLS championship. So they're supposed to be the best team in the league. Supposed to be. We'll see.
Okay,
but
dope.
FC Cincinnati, hey, right now people ain't peeping because I've been down on FC Cincinnati. Hey, right now they hot too. So like they ain't lost. They got a 3-game unbeaten streak. They had like 2 wins and a tie. And in soccer, if you get a tie, you get a point. If you win, you get 3. So like it's a point-based system. So hey, in the last 3 games, Cincinnati got 7 out of 9 points, which is a high. You do the percentage. That's 71%. Point rate.
That's interesting, man.
So,
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. And Columbus ain't, as far as the standings go, I think like a couple of spaces above Cincinnati. But if they win tonight and they get 3 points, they're only down 2 to Columbus. So if they win tonight, they'll skip Columbus and be like in playoff contention in the soccer shit. So hey, it's getting live.
I'd love to hear it, man. Now, have you been down to the new stadium?
This is my first time going tonight.
Okay, I'll be interested in hearing what your experience is like.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I read other people's experiences. Everybody loves it. They say all the seats are covered. So, like, even if it rains during the game, they still play unless it's lightning. So, like, all the seats are covered. So, like, they keep the game going and you don't get wet. You dance in the water and not get wet. So, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it because thank goodness for Jeff Pastor versus Michelle Dillingham, because otherwise I would not be experiencing this tonight.
Right. Yeah. And we'll have to wait
to see as to whether that was a good decision
or not.
Yeah, we'll see. Well,
that's
hey,
not really true,
I'm going to let you know.
That's not really true, though, because...
No, yes, it is. Because remember, she came on your show and said she was going to vote no matter what. She's voting down. She's voting it down.
You're right. She did say that. But what I'm challenging
you
on is you said if it wasn't for Jeff Pastor getting elected, then you wouldn't be able to go see the game. Didn't you just say that?
No, I said go see the game at TQL Stadium.
Oh, okay, right.
In the West End.
Right, because what I was going to say is we already had MLS, minor league soccer. It was over at Nippert Stadium. So you could see
it was minor league.
it wouldn't be down in the newly soon to be even more gentrified West End. That's the only thing.
Well, they wouldn't be professional either. They'd be minor league.
That was professional. You just minor league.
Right. Minor league is not major league. It's not MLS. I mean, I went to the games over there in Nipper too, so I ain't no hypocrite. I would go see them at Nipper. I've been going to these games.
Right.
This ain't new for me. You know what I'm saying? I've been following them since they had the team. And then, like, they started stepping up their schedule. Hey, Jeff Burton's doing a hell of a job. I got to give him credit. He's picking it up.
Jeff Burton's the smartest man in Hamilton County. Yes, he is.
I don't know. They say the other guy is the one that got the Paul Brown Stadium deal. They say he's the smartest dude.
Nah, it's Jeff Burton.
Whoever tied for opportunity he's against Jeff Burton. Hey, he's a smart guy. He gets a lot of credit.
Yeah,
but
Jeff Burton could sell feathers to birds.
I don't know. You know what? I'll give Jeff Burton some credit though too. I remember the time when Jeff Burton was a Democrat, right? Mm-hmm. And Jeff Burton, I believe, still is a Democrat. And remember when Mark Mallory and them threw Jeff Burton under the bus and unendorsed him?
No, I don't.
Hey, you should look that up because Jeff Burton and Mark Mallory was beefing at one point in time politically. So what ended up happening was Democratic Party unendorses Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton ran anyway as an independent, and he win. He still got on city council anyway. Now I think he lost the next term. Hey, but the moral of the story is some people ain't gonna like your position, but you just keep going anyway, and you just win. So
Jeff Burton can sell sand to the beach.
Okay, bro. Hey, you're funny, bro. Hey, and some TV that's about to come up I want to watch is that Power Book 3, that Raising Kanan. We're going to see how 50 Cent. Yeah, that's July the 18th.
Damn, I'm looking forward to that. I never got into Power. I know I got to turn my black card in, but I never got into it. I've seen maybe like 1.5 episodes at the most. Now I feel like I'm so far behind, I could never catch up.
Oh, no. Ghosts never die, and Power's forever.
Okay.
So, yeah, it keeps going. It's interesting. But, yeah, supposedly we're going to see how you'll find out who Kanan is later. When you start watching, he's probably in jail, but he'll get hit to Kanan. Kanan was hard. And they're going to show how he came up.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be supposedly his mama brought him into the game. I don't know if it's his mom or his sister, but some female taught him the game. And, yeah, he became just ruthless.
Let's talk about the NBA real quick. I know you're a fan. I mean,
I did. I watched a little bit. 2-0. I watched the first half. Them games just be too late. Is it over? I hate to say it's over. I mean, it's not looking good for Milwaukee. They just can't shoot the ball as well as Phoenix can. Chris Paul is a dog, man. Like, he was hitting all types of shots like cats 10 years younger than him that can't hit. Like, it was crazy watching Chris Paul. It's like, he gonna be the finals MVP. I know Booker balling and Ayton, but Chris Paul's stats, he putting up solid stats. He gonna be the MVP because they don't win. They're not even there without him. Like, his game is so cold. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it's over. I'll give if they go down 3-0, it's over. If Milwaukee win game 3, maybe, then we get to game 4. I done seen teams down 2-0 and come back and tie it 2, then it's best of 5. So I hesitate, especially with even the Golden State Cleveland shit. I hesitate to say anything's over at this point in the NBA. I don't think it's over yet. If they go down 3-0, I'm gonna say it's over at 3-0. But right. I don't think Milwaukee's going out like that. Chris Middleton gonna still hold. Brook Lopez gonna hold. Giannis got to get it together, man. Like, he getting $200 million, man.
Yeah, 42 last night. Yeah, 41, 42
I'm impressed
points.
with Giannis, man. I'm not impressed, bro.
He got to score 60. He scored 40-something points last night.
Man, you got to do more. I mean, that's the build of your team. You got to pass more. You got to get involved in the game a lot more. I mean, yeah, putting up points is one thing, but you got to, impact the whole game. That's one thing LeBron James does well. As much as I don't think LeBron James is the GOAT, I'll give LeBron James credit. He's the most impactful person I've seen in basketball. Like, Giannis got to get to that point. You getting LeBron James money, bro. Like you should be hooping like LeBron James. That's the expectation anyway. I ain't saying he ain't balling, but he just got to do more. His shot got to be better. He's not a threat 20 feet out. Like you see them, they was daring him to shoot. All the points came in the paint, but they dared him to shoot. He got to get that together. And then they started yelling at 12. They started getting the second count when he shoot the free throws. But he spooked, bro. Like it was like 1, 2, 3. Like they all in his head. So it's not over, but they lose game 3, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
But yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, it's a wrap. They lose game 3, it's a wrap. But yeah, Phoenix, they got a core team that they could be good a long time. They could be good another 2-3 years. Like theoretically, Chris Paul could three-peat if they do this right.
Three-peat?
I think they could three-peat, bro.
Next year, man, they're gonna hit. Next year's gonna be the most competitive ever year, barring injury. It's just so many good teams out there, so many good teams. So it's gonna be fun to watch. Lakers coming back.
I want to see LaMelo.
LaMelo is that dude. LaMelo is.
Hey,
I can't wait to see
that guy. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad. Hey, all the smack LeVar Ball talk. Hey, LaMelo covered all of it, even though Lonzo, all right.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate you. Have a good Friday.
All right. Have a great Friday and go FC Cincinnati.
Oh, absolutely, man. You already know if a Cincinnati team is in the running, I'm with the Cincinnati team. I'm with the saying, yeah, we're going to beat Columbus. Yeah, absolutely. If a Cincinnati team or a Cincinnatians in the race, I'm with the Cincinnati every single time. Simple as that. All who don't like it, so what? And so what? It is what it is. Anybody ever pay attention to the National Spelling Bee? They put it on TV sometime. I think it's on ESPN. Well, guess what? A 14-year-old from Harvey, Louisiana, became the first ever African-American winner of the National Spelling Bee. Zala Avant-Garde. Love that last name. And just happened yesterday, 14 years old. First ever African-American winner of the National Spelling Bee. Let me see if I can grab an image for you and I'll show it to you real quick. Y'all might not be hip to this. We got to support Black excellence wherever. Now, Black non-excellence, hell no. Hell to the nah. Black excellence, I'm absorbing it. I want it. Give it to me. You on some dumbish? Nope, that's on you. You on some Black excellence? Hey, we winning. Oh man, you can do that. You can do any way. Your life can be whatever you want your life to be. That's how I run my life. Black excellence, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. Look at that. First ever African-American winner of the National Spelling Bee. How many people have ever watched the National Spelling Bee? I think it was on ESPN for years. And then you kind of like try to play along and see if you can spell the words and you fail. And you be like, oh, these kids are smart. You said, how can they remember all of this? Can you use it in a sentence? Can you use it in a sentence? You know what I'm saying? All right, here's a word right now, real quick. Spell Pharaoh. Spell Pharaoh. Spell Pharaoh. All right. I'll use it in a sentence. When I worked in commercial radio, from time to time, a caller named Pharaoh used to call in. I'm just coming off the top of my head here. Pharaoh. Spell Pharaoh. Let's do it real quick. Our own little spelling bee on the Nathan Ivey Show. Pharaoh. I don't have any prizes, but Pharaoh. It's not as fun when you can't win anything, is it? You're like, I ain't spelling shit. Is it, man? You ain't got no prizes? You ain't got no tickets? No, I don't. No, I don't. That is dope. Dope. 9 of the 11 finalists were of South Asian descent. Zalia's win breaks a streak of at least one South Asian winner every year since 2008. So South Asians be spelling their ass off. Props to the South Asians. Zalia is not only a basketball standout, but she also hopes to play in the WNBA one day. and holds 3 Guinness World Records for dribbling multi-balls simultaneously. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but it all spells black excellence. I'm loving that. Let me see if I can get you. I got another photograph of Zalia holding, straight from Wakanda. The Wakandans win again, and she is holding. It looks like a pretty dope. I would take that home. That's a dope little trophy, right? That's a little different. That's a dope trophy. Let me show you the trophy. I want you to see your people's doing well all the way around. Hold on, real quick. Yeah. I got it for you. Check this out. Check this out. There it is. That's dope. Look at that. National Spelling Bee champion. I'd be proud. I'm proud for her. Happy for her. That's a dope ass looking little, not little. That's a dope ass award trophy right there. They ain't just picked that off of Amazon. That's unique. Shit, that look good on your mantelpiece right there. Hey, listen, all your awards and accolades. I know you got an ego wall. That's what they call it, an ego wall. I call it a wall of inspiration. When you get certificates of recognition and awards and letters, you got to frame that and put it in your office, right? I know you know. You got to put that up there so you can always remember the excellence that you are. I know I do. I guess I just love me some Nate. I love me some hug myself. Looking in the mirror like I love you so much. It's just so true. Love me some me. Yeah, you got to. So she can put that up on her mantelpiece or something like that. Yeah, when you get these milestones, your graduation certificates, or you get an award or something like that, you got to put that up. Don't put that in the shelf or file it away. Put it up on the wall. So every time you walk into your office or your bedroom or the hallway, you can just remember just how dope you are. So I'm happy for her. First ever African-American, for her age group anyway, winner of the National Spelling Bee, Zalia Avant-Garde. And with a name like Avant-Garde, I mean, come on now. That's a dope last name right there, Avant-Garde. What's your last name? Nathan Avant-Garde. It's pretty dope. Yeah, I can get down with that. I've been watching the Black News Channel more and more and more. They've really started to build out their YouTube presence, their social media presence. I love it. It's called the Black News Channel. They got a whole bunch of shows. I've been checking them out on YouTube. Mark Lamont Hill works for them and some other folks. There's a guy named Mike Hill who used to work at ESPN. He's on there. He does a show with a black female. And I love to see black folks talking about the world and the issues and things like that. And we just can't have enough of it. I thought it was super dope. But Mike Hill used to work at ESPN. And let me see if I can flash an image of him, because some people are like, who the hell are you talking about, Nate? Mike who? I don't watch no damn ESP. What? Let me show you. He's a brother. He's actually married to one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta now. Cynthia Bailey, I think, the woman who used to be like a model or something like that. He's married to her. He makes an appearance on that show. Some of y'all might recognize him for that show if you're into that kind of thing. You know me, I used to love reality television. I say used to only because I'm so damn jaded now. I'm an OGGG when it comes to reality television. I've been watching reality television since The Real World New York. Since way before Flavor of Love, all the early ones. And I used to, talk about them and debate people about the impact in the culture. It's just TV. But this is Mike Hill right here. It's Mike Hill. Anybody remember him? You recognize Mike Hill? Well, this past week, he was on his show on the Black News Channel, and he was talking about all that stuff that's happening with his former place of employment with ESPN as it relates to Rachel Nichols. Rachel Nichols is a white woman born with a silver spoon in her damn mouth. Did you hear that? And she currently has a show called The Jump. It's actually a dope show. I like it. And the best part about the show is not her. It's all of the NBA stars that come on the show, and it make it so interesting because they got the insight. But I can't say she don't do a good job. She do what she do. Well, it came out this past week that she made some comments about a black female named Maria Taylor, who was given the opportunity to host a show called NBA Countdown. And essentially, she thought she was having a private conversation. And in that conversation that she thought was private, she said, among other things, I'm paraphrasing loosely because I don't have the exact comment in front of me, but essentially, she has said that, and strongly implied, that the only reason why Maria Taylor was given a job is because ESPN has a diversity problem. Now, black professionals, y'all been dealing with that for a long time. It's hard enough to get the damn job. And then when you get the job, some people think that the only reason why you got the job was because you're black. And I don't know about you, but I know a lot of black professionals, and I don't really hear that. Shit, I don't see that. I'll say it again, where they do that at? They just giving black folks big time jobs just because they black? I ain't seen it. So Mike Hill starts talking about the culture at ESPN, right? And he tells a story about how he was told that he was too ghetto to succeed at ESPN by one of the white gatekeepers, we'll put it that way. I don't know what the guy's job was, but he was like a talent scout, gatekeeper type shit. And he shared that story this past week, actually, on the Black News Channel. You can find it on, I don't have the clip for you, but you can find it on YouTube if you're interested. And I thought that was interesting. Told he was too ghetto. And I thought, you know what, let me ask the choppers. Have you ever had an experience like that? Anybody ever said anything to you like that? Have you ever got that feeling like you was just too ethnic, too ghetto? And I remember Mike Hill being on there, and he definitely was a black man, like, you know, in his syntax, in the way that he carried himself. And I thought it was refreshing. I mean, too many times you get black journalists and black television and even radio personalities who feel like they gotta assimilate, they gotta change, right, in order to be accepted by the larger audience. And that shit just gets so old. Don't it get old? It gets so old. It's like, just be you, bruh. Just be you, sis. If they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, they don't like you. I never thought that he was too. I thought he was a unique talent. You know, there was a time when I was watching ESPN on a daily basis. I don't really do that no more because I don't have cable and I just don't want to. And then with the YouTube, I can get all the highlights and I don't have to waste all that time. Like, I didn't watch any of the NBA finals last night. I watched all the highlights. I get the whole synopsis in 7 minutes as opposed to where you know, spending an hour. Who got time for that? I got time for that. Even if LeBron James was in the finals, last year I didn't watch every game. I was watching the games on highlights. Man, I got other shit to do. It's fun though. I enjoyed it. I'm not telling you I don't enjoy it. I enjoy it. I'm just saying that's just me. But I'm just curious. I mean, when I heard about him saying that, Mike Hill, I'm thinking, I wonder if the Choppers have ever had an experience like that. Anybody ever told you was too ghetto or too ethnic? Your hair was too afro-y? You seemed like you was from the projects or something? You ever felt like, you know, the way you carried yourself as a melanated person, you know, wasn't being appreciated on the job? I'd love to hear your story real quick. You ain't got to give us any intimate details. You might have a lawsuit pending or something like that. You don't want to blow your deal. I'm just curious. He said he was too ghetto. He ain't even got no facial hair. How you gonna be too ghetto? He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Good morning to you. Let me jump inside the chop shop and say what's up to the choppers.
Get to the chopper!
I am.
Go! Get to the chopper!
I am.
Go! Get to the chopper!
That man is pushy. I got this, Arnold. Brenda writes happy Friday. Ray writes good risings all. Good risings all. Fox is in the house. Writes rise and shine, young stars. Sharp writes TGIF, which stands for Thank God It's Friday. Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Sister V is in the house. She writes happy Friday to all the Choppers, TGIF and HFE. Happy Friday, everyone. Sharp writes PHAROAH. You are the winner. You are the winner, Sharp. That's how you spell the word Pharaoh. I don't have any prizes for you. Thank you for playing. I don't have no prizes. No one man should have all this fun, man. I'm having way too much fun for one black man in Cincinnati. They don't come in here and stop all of this. You smiling too much, Nate. I'm not sure who they are. I'm just saying. Cincinnati Black United Front writes, good morning, great people. Good to see you. We got Buff in the house, C Buff in the house. Jerome writes, good morning, Nate in the choppers. Good morning to you. Kush writes, good morning, Nathan in the choppers with a Z. Brandy writes, good morning, happy Friday. Jared writes, good morning, hashtag Team NI. Brandy writes, very action-packed. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting idea. The only thing I didn't like about the movie that held it back to me was the black guy. I just hate it when the black guy plays the clown in the comedic relief, and they play it in a way in which I just didn't like it. Now they balance it out because there's another brother that's like Blake, he's straight G.I. Joe with it, so they try to balance it out. But I'm like, you got the white dude who's the protagonist, right? He's the hero. And then you got two black guys that are kind of like the sidekicks. One of them's on some G.I. Joe Snake Eye type-ish. The other one's like, fumbling around with his gun and all that. I'm like, man, bump all that. I ain't with that. He's like, shaking. When it's time to get down and deal with the aliens. It was some creepy-ass aliens too, boy. Woo. Like, damn, I don't want to run into these aliens. They were shooting projectiles out of tentacles and shit. I'm like, what in the hell? But again, I like the genre. I like the sci-fi alien horror genre. That's my wheelhouse. And my daughter enjoys it. So now we've got something that we jive on. So I'm with it. I'll waste my time on a bad movie or mediocre movie just because I want to see what modern day movie creators are doing with the genre sometime. In this one, I wasn't disappointed, other than the way that they portrayed that one black dude. And I know he was a comedic relief, and you got to have comedic relief in a movie like this. I get it. I mean, can we get an Asian dude or something like that? Can we get a white dude to do that? But okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. And at the end, he sort of finds his courage, which, is typical. But I thought that the premise was interesting. That was very interesting. And who knows, man? Like I said, we're going to mess ourselves up on this planet. Nat writes, reggae boat ride this weekend, but I hear it's sold out. Is that this weekend? I think I saw it on Facebook. I just want to know, are people getting out? Are you going out more, going to bars more? The wifey was out at a local black-owned establishment last night. She told me it was barely anybody there. I'm like, word? I've been to this place. It's called Nostalgia. It's a sister who owns it. Shout out to her. I don't know her, but shout out to her. And she and I have been to it. I thought it was dope. It's downtown on Short Vine. I love to see my people doing well, man. There's so many opportunities in the city of Cincinnati. I love to see people taking advantage of them and starting businesses and being successful. That shit is great. That shit is super dope. I love it. I love it. Let me see here. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection, the one and only Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black Not Democrat. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. And good morning to you, brother. And what's on your mind?
Well, first of all, it's Friday. I ain't got no job. Oh, that's right. I'm retired, not fired. For all the choppers in the chop shop and the chopper, Brent, you know who I'm talking about. But Mr. Ivy, the title of your show this Friday is the 3 top stories. Am I correct?
Yeah, 3 stories worth another look.
Okay. I joined your show about half hour in. Did you happen to mention the Afghan withdrawal mess for the Biden administration? Did you happen to mention the crime problem sweeping the country in the Biden administration? Did you happen to mention that the truth is starting to come out about the January 6th insurrection / riot and the murder of Ashley Babbitt at the hands of a black Capitol Police officer whose entire social media has been scrubbed? There is no mention of his name. A 5-day investigation is closed. Her death is listed as a homicide.
It is a homicide.
And of course, Mr. Ivy.
Not the same as a murder, but it is a homicide.
Why is the media and Nancy Pelosi not allowing the Freedom of Information Act, a FOIA request by Judicial Watch for the records of the phone calls that went on that day, January 6th, between Homeland Security and the people that control that office. Nancy Pelosi, who's the Speaker of the House, is in charge of the Capitol Police, and she put the Capitol Police Department in a no FOIA request category. Now, Mr. Ivey, this is unprecedented, and I am waiting for the start of the January 6th committee. That's going to be seated with 8. I think it's going to be 7 Democrats, 1 Rhino, Liz Cheney, and Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader, will be selecting 5 true, I'm talking about true GOP. And all this stuff is going to come out, as well as the involvement of the FBI, the CIA, and any other intelligence organizations that were involved
And
with
the
the
Republican
group.
Party.
Now, see, there you go.
You just said so
The
much.
Republican
You just
Party-
glossing over.
the Republican
was
Party-
complicit.
Members of Congress of the Republican Party were victims that day.
No,
They were
complicit.
not. They were not perpetrators.
They were perpetrators.
Ivey,
They were perpetrators.
Get your facts together.
The Republican
There was not
Party,
one.
various
There
members
was
of the
not
Republican
one
Party.
elected member of Congress from the Republican
That's
Party
not true.
that was involved
That's not
in
true.
that riot.
That's not true.
Uh,
There were various
Okay,
members of the
all right.
Republican Party,
I guess.
including the leadership, that were co-conspirators because they was going on Fox News,
Okay,
it was going on Newsmax,
all right, fine.
and they were reiterating
Fine.
Trump's lies about the election of 2021 being stolen. So stop it.
Okay, all right. Well, all of
Or
it will
2020
come
being
out.
stolen.
All of it will come out when this commission gets started, which actually has the funding before the commission to study reparations, which is another topic that, for some reason, Black Democrats don't want to talk about. Like they don't want to talk about the relief from student loans, just like they don't
Well, I
want
know
to
what
talk
you don't want to
about
talk about.
universal. They don't want to talk about
And you don't want to talk about
Medicare
the
for
fact
all.
that Ashley Babbitt was an
it's a
American
lot
terrorist.
of things they don't want to talk about.
And
And
you
then
don't
the
want to talk
audacity,
about the fact.
then the audacity of Sleepy Joe Biden, who could barely get a sentence together. Did you see him yesterday, Mr. Ivey? This is getting bad.
And you,
Kamala, I'm Black Y'all Harris, needs to get on the ball and start the process for the 25th Amendment because she's the only one that can do it, along with the cabinet. Mr. Ivey,
You
did
said
you
a
see
lot.
him
Do you mind if I
yesterday?
deal with it before I forget my points here? You brought up Ashley Babbitt. She got exactly what she deserved.
I lit you up.
She got exactly
No,
what
don't
she
say
deserved.
that, Mr. Ivey. Don't say that. Don't
She
say
got
that.
exactly what she
That was-
deserved. She was an American terrorist trying to break into Congress, and she got shot.
Mr.
Period. She got
Mr.
what
Ivey,
she deserved.
Mr. Ivey, there were no weapons fired that day other than from the weapon of a Capitol Police
It
officer.
don't matter.
One
You
shot
don't have to have
one
a
shot
firearm
to
to
the
kill
neck.
somebody.
One shot, Mr. Ivey, when there's one shot by one lone law enforcement officer, just one shot,
Has
Mr.
this
Ivey.
officer been charged?
Mr. Ivey, Mr. Ivey, it's going to all come out.
I'm just saying,
It's
as I
gonna all
understand, the
come out.
officer
So-
hasn't been charged, and no charges are coming because the officer was doing his job. Ashley Babbitt, Trump lunatic, decided that she wanted to join the crowd and try to break down a door, and she got what she deserved. Period.
Mr. Ivey, the investigation can be reopened, Mr. Ivey. I'm sure you're aware of that. But there are a lot of details about this one bullet fired from a Capitol Police officer, which no one knows his identity.
We don't need to know his identity.
When Mr. Ivey, I know his identity.
We don't need to know the
Okay,
identity because the Trump lunatics.
Because I
are
know
gonna try
it,
to go
and I'm
after
sure
this person.
I'm sure Donita, the co-overseer, the Negro whisperer in training, I'm pretty
Wow.
sure her and her boss, Glenn from Mason, I'm pretty sure they're gonna come on here after my call and say I'm lying. Because if they don't get up on the phone after my call, that's gonna mean I'm telling the truth.
Not really.
And
They could
somebody
be
else
busy.
is
They could
is
be
going to
busy,
trust
or
but
they
verify.
feel like what you're saying is not worthy of a response. Did you hear that
Because
Kmart,
Mr. Ivy,
since you brought up Ashley Babbitt, did you hear that Kmart and
oh, here we
Sears?
go. I thought this was my call.
It is your call, but you brought up some great stuff.
So why
now
are you trying to hijack
honor it? I'm just asking you a simple question. You brought her up, so I'm asking you, did you hear that Kmart and Sears have pulled the Ashley Babbitt American t-shirts after a backlash? You heard about that?
No, because those are regional marketplaces. Kmart is not even open anymore. That company's been out of business forever. What Kmart store are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Give me a location. Give me a location, because Kmart has been out of business for at least the last 5-6 years.
McDonald's. I don't know. It's the one across from McDonald's.
Exactly. Well, maybe you need to call your Chop Shop fact checker, Donita, because you never question anything she says. You just take whatever she says because she's so-called checking me and the alt middle. Shout out to the alt middle. If I'm not affiliated, I still support what them brothers stand for. But Mr. Ivy, I'm gonna end my call because it's Friday, and I know.
Don't run yet.
Oh, okay.
Yet.
Oh,
so you started talking about. Did I talk about Joe Biden and Afghanistan? So what did we miss?
Yes.
I know that Joe is trying to pull us out. You know, it was a Republican president under a cloud of lies and falsehoods that got us into Afghanistan in the first place, right?
George Bush.
Yeah,
George
Bush, Rumsfeld.
Is that the president? Okay,
all of them.
that's
Remember
cool.
him? I hope John Rumsfeld burns in hell.
Okay. Yeah, but Joe Biden is the president now. So Joe Biden,
he was the vice president, another Republican president's mess. But
no,
what did we miss, sir?
Mr. Ivy. No, see, I ain't gonna let you get away with this like the lamestream media does. You're new black media, okay? You're better than this. How is it that our current president, Joseph R. Biden, who was the vice president when all this stuff that's happening now was happening then? How is it that nobody ever asked him, Mr. President, how did you and Barack Obama handle this situation? It happened to you the same way. Everything, gas prices, the last time they've been this high under Obama. Crime rates, the last time it's been this high under Obama.
Oh, please.
The foreign policy, withdrawing troops and not supporting the Afghan people who supported Americans as interpreters, as just fact checkers, as people that were supporting the Americans, Afghanis who live there. Joe Biden have left those people stranded. And now he's changing up strategy, but it's too late now. It's too late. He's doing the exact same stuff that his president did from 2008 to 2016.
You so
all
disingenuous.
The same issues.
So
no, it's not. That's why I call it. That's why I call it.
Can I correct it, please?
See, here we go.
The only thing that Biden
I thought that
has
was Donita's job. I thought Donita was the person that did that for the Nathan Ivy show.
Get some. That's up to her. But right now I'm talking to you. So the only thing that Biden has done, so people know, is that he changed the end of U.S. combat mission, that date. Previously, it was like September 11th. He moved it up to August 31st. So it's like 12 days difference. That's it.
Why, Mr. Ivy? Tell him why he did it.
We've been there for how long? We've been there for over a decade.
No.
So he sped it up by 12 days,
Ivy.
and you try to make it into some kind of national
Mr.
incident.
Ivy. Why did he change the date from September 11th to August? It was a reason, Mr. Ivy.
Well,
see, you can't come out half stepping. See, I ain't gonna call you out.
Okay, call me out.
Because
do you want to hear my answer, or do you want to give me your thoughts on it? Which is it? We can do both.
Go for it, sir. This is your show, which I love your show. So you go.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't have all the details, but I can only conclude that he wants to bring the troops home a little faster than what the normal point was. So 12 days earlier. That's it.
And this is the last thing, okay, Mr. Ivy, unless you want to keep me, because I can go.
You answer. Why is he doing it? Why is he bringing the troops home 12 days earlier?
No, I'm gonna leave that up to Donita, and
I thought
and I'm gonna leave it up. I'm gonna leave it up to Glenn, the one who has. No, I'm not. I ain't splitting nothing. I'm not Mr. Ivy.
The reality is that the U.S. should have pulled out of combat operations from Afghanistan a long damn time ago. Finally, somebody's got some damn sense. We never should have been in the first place.
Okay, I agree with you on that, Mr. Ivy, but guess who's moving in now that America has built up the infrastructure?
Let me
They're
guess.
leaving weapons. Yes,
Let
take
me
a guess.
guess.
It starts
Let me
with a
guess.
C.
The
It starts with a
Taliban, the
C.
same people that
No,
was there before we got there.
Mr. Ivy, again,
The Taliban.
again, sir. No, China. China
the Taliban.
is China.
Russia
China
tried to take over Afghanistan, and they got beat by the Taliban, and so did we. Period. It's a briar's patch.
See,
nobody's gonna win there, and it's just a waste of U.S. resources. Simple as that.
Okay, well, again, Mr. Ivy, I appreciate you giving me the time
Now,
on your
something
show.
Else you brought up. I wanna make sure we talk.
Oh,
about,
now,
we talked about Afghanistan.
I have reached.
And then
I have reached a new level on the Nathan Ivy stuff
in our conversation. I just want to make sure we address all of your stuff on a Friday. I don't want to leave the weekend open. I want to go into the weekend and we got drop stuff on the table.
Oh, don't worry. I got a podcast, bro. I got a podcast. Season 1.
All
season
of the droppings.
1. I got a podcast, Mr. Ivy. Season 1, episode 62. Episode 63 coming this weekend, and it's going to be about crime across this country. How can Joe Biden on Wednesday go to Chicago and not hook up with his brother Barack Hussein Obama? But then, guess what? 3 law enforcement officers, 2 ATF, and 1 undercover Chicago PD officer gets shot at and wounded by 2 fools. Yeah, they black, and they got their ass within 24 hours. Both of them been arrested. 2 of them. Could be more coming, but they got their asses in 2 days. Now, how is it that the law enforcement agencies can get these 2 shooters of 3 law enforcement officers, catch their asses in 2 days, but then you got over 1,000 people.
You know why?
1,000 people that were shot. No suspects, Mr. Ivy, because why? They are gangbangers. They are violent offenders, and they have been released from jail under these liberal activist judges across this country on either no bail or limited bail and putting them on electronic monitoring. Mr. Ivy, it is a fact. So you can go ahead and call up your resident fact checker, Donita. I don't know who made her the boss of fact checking me. But hey, I love it. I started with 1 overseer, and now, it took me 4 years. Now I got 2 overseers, and it's a good thing Glenn for Mason hired a female. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Be safe in them streets, people. It's Friday. I ain't got no job. Oh, that's right. I'm retired. Peace.
Take it easy, brother. He is nuts, boy. I want to make sure we clean up all his droppings, pun intended, before he rolls out. So now Joe Biden is individually responsible for all the crime that's happened across the nation. Okay. But Trump wasn't responsible for any of the crime that happened during his 4 years, which was horrible, by the way. I'm reading an article in marketwatch.com dated July 7th, 2021, which is 2 days ago. Kmart and Sears pulled Ashley Babbitt American Patriot t-shirts after a backlash. Ashley Babbitt was a white female. She was a member of the military, and she got killed on January 6th during the insurrection. She got shot. I remember the scene. I won't play it again just out of respect, but I remember the scene. There was a door, and the insurrectionists, the vast majority of them were white. They were trying to break in the door. On the other side, you had Capitol police officers. You can even see 2 officers had their guns drawn and pointed at the door. Ashley Babbitt and the other insurrectionists, American terrorists, were trying to kick in the door. I believe that door led to a hallway that directly led to the chamber of Congress that we see on the news all the time. And Ashley Babbitt decided that she was going to climb up. And I remember like it was yesterday. It was clear that the Capitol Police kept saying, back up, don't do that. They kept saying it over and over again, back up, don't do that. Ashley Babbitt decided she was going to climb up. I don't know what she was trying to do. I don't know. Maybe she was going to try to climb up the door somehow and then kick it in with her combat boots on. And then you hear one shot and then she falls backwards. I think she took one to the cranium. Terrible. But that's what happens when you trying to storm the U.S. Capitol. You don't get shot in the head, don't try to storm the Capitol building. Simple as that. And then somebody decided to make some Ashley Babbitt American Patriot t-shirts and then sell it online. And of course, there was a backlash. Come on, Sears. She was 35 years old. She was an Air Force veteran and a Trump supporter. Nothing wrong with any of those things. Nothing wrong with being a Trump supporter. The problem is when you try to climb through a smashed window and the door led directly to the speaker's lobby. That's what it was. They were trying to break in and get and kill Nancy Pelosi. They was trying to kill the Speaker of the House. She got what she wanted. She wanted that work. She got that work, period. Meanwhile, you got black folks being killed by law enforcement simply because they drive it in a car. So I don't got no sympathy for her. She wanted to climb through a smashed window to try to get to Nancy Pelosi's office so she could do some dumb-ish. And then the Capitol Police, who are trained and are paid to protect the speaker, did their job. And now you got Republicans running around talking about she's a martyr. She ain't no damn hero. She's not a martyr. She was a criminal. And she got what criminals get. Simple as that. All she had to do was just go to the event and just be cool. But no, she gonna smash through the window and try to crawl through and get to Nancy Pelosi. She got what she had coming to her. You got people out here saying she was executed. Now let me get this straight. You got everyday, ordinary black folks who are who are unarmed, all by themselves, in some cases walking home, getting tased by police, Cincinnati police. You got honest, registered gun owners sitting in cars. They tell the police officers, hey, I'm a registered gun owner. They get shot in the chest, point blank range. Philando Castile. You got mofos being slammed on their face in parking lots because they asked the police, why you arrested me? And they end up dying. None of them people get executed. But this white woman decides that she's going to storm the U.S. Capitol, kick in the window of a door that leads directly to the Speaker of the House's lobby in her suite of offices, and she gets executed. Man, knock it off. She got what she wanted. She wanted that work. She got that work. Moral of the story, don't go to the Capitol building and try to smash in windows when you see Capitol Police with guns drawn, and you probably won't get shot. Simple as that. She was executed. Rep. Paul Gosar, who's an Arizona Republican, has been quoted saying that she was executed. Man, knock it off. She did it to herself. She did it to herself. Simple as that. Let me go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing well, buddy. Welcome to the show.
Good. Wonderful. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence. Every time you open that mic, we are enriched and ennobled.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I think Rachel Nichols is getting a bad rap in all this. She didn't say anything bad. All she basically said was, why do I got to be the one to suffer? Because y'all got a diversity history. A problem with diversity throughout your history. That's all she really said. She didn't diss Maria Taylor. She didn't say, they had a good diversity, a good history with diversity. She just wondered aloud, why do I got to be the one to suffer? You know what I'm saying? I really don't like the way she's being treated and all this. Like she's the bad guy. Because in reality, that's why the story leaked. Because ESPN wants everybody to know that Maria Taylor's the bad guy. They want her next employer to know that she's a bad person. She's a diva. You know, she's asking for Stephen A. Smith type money. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware of it, but I'm surprised at your take on this. I'm a little disappointed.
I don't give a damn. I don't
give a damn if you don't give a damn. I'm just telling you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure you'll say something that doesn't really make much sense as to what I'm saying. But let's hear this. This ought to be rich.
Well, it's not rich. It's
Why are
just
you
obvious.
disappointed in my take?
You talking about she didn't diss Maria Taylor? She certainly dissed that sister. She implied, if
No,
not
she
just
didn't.
downright said,
No,
that the only
she
reason
didn't.
why
No,
she
she
got the
didn't.
job was because she was black. Totally
No, she
discrediting.
didn't.
She totally discredited her talent,
She
her experience, and the sacrifice that
she
this
said no, she
sister has
didn't.
been
She said
made to get to where she is.
she said I wish her all the whatever in the world.
At the
I got
end,
all the respect for her in the world. However, you know,
I think she only
I
got
am
the
the
job because she's black.
that job is in my contract. That's my gig. Don't make me suffer because ESPN wants to change its history with diversity now.
White privilege.
She did not divorce that. She did not disrespect that woman.
She definitely disrespected that woman. Most certainly.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that
and
at all.
And that's why I'm surprised at you, because usually you pretty astute. On this one, you're burying the lead. You missing it.
No, I'm not. No, the lead is that Maria Taylor's an asshole.
No, the lead is that
asking for
Rachel
asking
Nichols
for $10
is a
million
Karen.
a year.
That's what the lead is. The lead is that Rachel Nichols is a Karen who makes her money off of black folks, and then got the nerve to turn around and say that this sister only got her job because she black. The only reason why she got her job is because of black folks.
I didn't hear her say that. I didn't read that either.
And again, that's why I'm a little lightly disappointed, because usually you're quicker than that. You missing it. But go right ahead with your flow.
No, I'm not.
No, you are.
No,
go right ahead with your flow, sir.
No. You know, why would she ask for Stephen A. Smith's money? Stephen A. Smith makes $10 million a year. He makes you cuss at your TV and phone. Maria Taylor don't do that. Like they released, ESPN is doing a work job on Maria Taylor. That's why they released that story to let her next employer know she's a diva. You know, Stephen A. Smith is special when it comes to sports broadcasting. He's special. He's elite. Like, nobody does it like him. Nobody before or to come. I'm talking Howard Cosell, none of them. All Maria Taylor is right now is just a pretty face and a non-threatening voice. Outside of her being, you know, a beautiful woman, what does she provide in sports broadcasting? Nothing. ESPN is setting her up to take her out. Just like they've done many other people before who have left. Keith Olbermann, Dan Patrick, Craig Kilborn, a lot of people. Jemele Hill. They set you up for the downfall as you fall into obscurity. But hey,
Jemele Hill
that's all I got.
She's not falling into obscurity.
Say what?
Jemele Hill isn't falling into obscurity at all.
Oh,
she's
okay.
inked a
You used
brand
to be
new
able to
deal.
just
She
turn
got
on
a
your
brand
phone
new
and find
podcast
her.
network called the Unbothered Podcast Network. She got a brand new deal with
that nobody
somebody.
listens to. That
That's
nobody listens to.
That's not true.
Okay, well, you can listen to her on ESPN or that bullshit network she on now.
I forget what network she's on, but she's highly visible.
Exactly. You don't even know the name of it.
So,
ESPN's got
I don't know
4
the name
letters.
of a lot of
If you know
networks. It don't mean
anything
they don't
else,
have
that's the
audiences.
only.
So what?
If you know anything else, you know that ESPN is the only major network with 4 letters.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You don't even know what Jemele Hill work said now.
You should be ashamed of yourself. And if I was still running the alt middle, because you know I created the alt middle and then gave it to you guys. If I was still running it, I'd kick your ass out today. Because you've called in here caping for a Karen while dissing 2 black women at the same time. And if I was still running the alt middle, your ass would be on the way out. You lucky.
First of all, I don't know where you come up with all this air in your chest. How about if you was running the alt middle?
If I was still running, because you know I relinquished it and let you guys take over. You lucky on that.
That's peak supposition. That's peak supposition for one, because alt middle came together organically. We ain't need nobody's help. And secondly, you never ran the alt middle. Matter of fact, you ran from the alt.
You lucky.
No, you lucky. You ran from us. And we seen out in the friends group. And you still been running from us. You know what I'm saying? So what is you talking about? You ran out middle. More like you
I ran the alt middle, and then I gave it to you guys. You lucky I'm still not running because I bounced your ass out for your ridiculous take this morning. You call in here caping for Karens, caping for Rachel Nichols, and then gonna turn right around and diss and criticize 2 black women? Come on, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. I hope that Black Russia checks you later, but he probably won't. Anything else, sir? I can't hear you.
One of your ether-induced illusions? Yeah.
You still there, sir?
Yeah, I'm still here, man.
Yeah, Black Russia needs to check your ass today, but he probably won't, though. So what's wrong with our community?
Okay, yeah. See, there you go, trying to.
I'm dead serious. You breaking up, man.
I'm telling you, nobody's gonna check me. But what you doing is, like I said, you're the same guy that allows people to call us pit bulls on your show.
You call yourself wolves.
Same guy that allows people to threaten you to tell you.
You call yourself a wolf. It's all in the same vein.
Yeah,
Ain't that far apart. Wolf, pit bull. It's an animal. What's the difference?
It's okay. It's an animal that some other groups is. But I digress. Hey, brother, it's been real.
As always.
I had fun.
So did I.
And chat. Be well.
Oh! You lucky. I bounced your ass straight out the alt middle, but I was still running it. You're gonna call in here and cape for Karen, aka Rachel Nichols. She ain't say nothing wrong. It's that's how Karens think about black folks. Oh, she only got that job because she black. Yeah. Raise your hand if you ever got a job because you black. I'd love to hear it. I'm not saying it's outside the room possibility. I'm not saying that because sometimes they want to diversify, and I get it. But the problem with that is that it's like you have no other qualifications other than you're black. They just want to put some unqualified black person there. Black folks got to work 4 times harder. They got to deal with 4 times more ish than their white counterparts. And you're going to get 1.5 times less pay on average. So no, I'm not here for it. Rachel Nichols is a Karen. If you watch the show, the only reason why the show's, number one, the show is produced by LeBron James. The Jump, y'all know that? You go on that show, it ain't just her, it's her and a whole bunch of black male former players. And you got to turn around and make a comment like that? Hell to the nah. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve nothing when you're working for somebody else. Yeah, I'm good. What's wrong? I'm on one. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm on. My wifey's like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I gotta, fame, he just brings it out of me, man. How dare he call in here and disrespect these sisters and you gonna cape for a Karen? Please. What all middle at? Y'all need to expunge his record right now. But you won't. Y'all too scared. Sister Iris writes, happy 27th anniversary, Jesse Rowley. 27 of them? Damn. Y'all got us beat by 6 years, man. To be in a marriage for 20 anything, man. 10, 15, listen. Oh, man, I could write a book about it. And these are modern day people. Like back in the day, it was easier. Now to keep a marriage together with modern women, oh my God, I'm telling you. With modern values, oh, it's a whole new game out here. If you can get to 10, 15, 20 something like that, y'all must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Because that is not an easy prospect. We live in a world today that don't value those kind of things. And we live in a world today where, again, we've never been more narcissistic and full of ourselves as individual humans and collectively as a human race as we are now. Everybody's a superstar. Everybody's an Instagram star. Everybody has an audience. And in the post-Oprahfication of America, Oprah taught us that whatever you think you need and you want, the ends justify the means. If you got to destroy your marriage to get what you want, then so be it, because you got to be happy, right? That's just where we live at now these days. You know what I'm saying? No sacrifice. What's sacrifice? That's out the door. Anybody sacrificing no more? That's like that old shit. I'm just telling you. Nowadays, whatever a person feels like they want and desire, getting it is way more important than anything else. That's what Oprah taught us. You deserve to be happy, even if it's at the expense of the people around you, your morals, your beliefs, and everything else. This is where we are now. We have never been so full of ourselves as human beings as we are right now. Every last one of us full of ourselves. It's truth. And so in that environment, it's very difficult to keep a marriage together. Very difficult. So props to you guys. Samantha writes, I'm going with the group to see FC Cincinnati tonight as well. Looking forward to the game. Okay, really, it sounds like I didn't know the Columbus crew was going to be here, but yeah, that sounds dope. Those regional rivalries are so important to local sports, right? You can make it fun. And nobody's going to win any money unless you're betting anything, but I'm sure you're going to have some people from Columbus down here, and then they'll go back and forth with the FC Cincinnati fans. It makes it fun. I know they got some bars. They got a couple of sports bars that I know of that are really, really into soccer. Like one is like dedicated to it over in Northern Kentucky. There's another one in Cincinnati I know of. It's going to be jumping tonight. Have fun. We deserve this. We deserve to have a fun Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy the game. Get you some beer and some wings or whatever the hell you into. Enjoy your time. I hope it's a great game. Tiffany writes, good morning. Daryl writes, Cavs down 3-1-1. That's right, because LeBron James is a monster. That's why. Cass writes, hey, Choppers. Hey, Cass, good to see you. Daryl writes, she has b-ball skills too, Nate. Yeah, I read that. Good morning to Danita's in the house. Your name was brought up today. I think you touched a nerve with Drop, because he just kept bringing up Danita. She's the coach, chop shop, overseer. Who made her the fact checker? I mean, that's the nature of talk radio. There's always a call after you, typically, unless the show ends. That's the nature of the game. And then today, with these phones, all you got to do is Google it. And people can get the information just like that. And they'll call you up and be like, hey, Nate, I just Googled it and you're wrong, or whoever. They'll set the record straight just like that. Comes with the territory. I don't mind it. It is what it is. But Drop was all in his feelings. Did you hear him, Danita? He was. Your name was all in his mouth. Regina writes, good Friday morning. Good to see you. Pharaoh, she writes Pharaoh. Correctamundo. Moses told Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah, I used to do a bit called The Look, right? And Moses comes, hold on, let me see here. Moses comes sauntering into the chamber, the inner chamber of Pharaoh, talking about let my people go. All he got is a wooden stick. And Pharaoh looked at him like, a Negro, please, you can get your ass out of here. It's The Look. Anybody ever give The Look before somebody say something crazy? You like, what in the hell? Are you losing it? Let me see. Black Russia writes, she's a champ. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag Alt Middle. I'm not sure those two hashtags go together. Black Excellence and Alt Middle. Like I said, before I relinquished control of the Alt Middle and gave it to you guys, it was a much better outfit. You guys took over and you brought it down a little bit. Okay, I'm disappointed. Now, T. Greg, what I want to know is, did you hear what this black man just said? What are you going to do about that? I hope you check his ass for that. Lisa writes, yes, I have my little associate's degree that I earned a few years ago hanging on my wall, and it ain't no little. You did that. That's a huge accomplishment. Put your accomplishments up on your wall. Some people call it an ego wall. Some people call it like an accomplishment wall, or whatever you want to call it, so that you can be surrounded by examples of your own excellence. Don't forget who the hell you are and what you've done. Black Russia writes, BNT, Black News. BNT, what's BNT? Oh, is it BNT, Black News? I'm not sure what BNT is. Maybe he means Black News Network. Maybe that's what he means. Cynthia Bailey. Oh, you think she's attractive? She's all right. My favorite of all the housewives was Sheree. Something about Sheree, man. I'm like a sister with backbone. When she was like, "Who gonna check me, boo?" I was like, I like that. I like that. Remember that? That was great. That black man was all out of order. I'm just saying, what black man threatens to put his hands on a woman? What the hell is the weakest thing I've ever seen in my entire life? You're gonna hit a woman because she arguing with you. Remember that episode? She was talking with this black dude in Atlanta. I think she was doing some kind of event. And shit wasn't going right. So she went to his office. And that's when she had the "who gonna check me, boo" moment. It was classic. It was one of the funniest moments in reality television history. And dude was mad. I'm glad the camera was there because he was so angry that he probably would have put his hands on this woman. I'm like, this is what you doing? Okay. To me, I think that's weakness. But Professional Reimbursement Network writes, hashtag Black Girls Rock. Yes, they do. Good to see you, PRN. PRN, good to see you. Del writes, did you know Rachel Nichols is the daughter-in-law of Diane Sawyer, LOL? I did know that. It came out somewhere in the last week or so. I did know. Silver Spoon. You know what I'm saying? You're the daughter-in-law of Diane Sawyer. I'm sure that came up during the job interview process. You know, I'm just saying, it's just some thoughts you should keep to yourself. And if a black person at your job gets the job over you, if you think to yourself, they're just trying to fix their diversity problem, just let that shit ride. Keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because even if they are, we probably deserve it. Just think about all the black folks that deserved it and got passed over for years and years and years, Rachel Nichols. So you'll be okay. You'll be okay. I don't got no sympathy for you. Danita writes, Fox Soul, sorry, can't take Mike Hill all seriously. I thought he was on Black News Network, Black News Channel. Yeah, I'm hip to Fox Soul. They're doing great work. I mean, Fox has a whole sort of black-oriented, focused channel. They got some dope shows on there. Nat writes, and Rachel is married to Diane Sawyer's son. Soon after marriage, she started moving up at ESPN. You know it had. Oh, I see Diane Sawyer is your mother-in-law. I love her. That's a great icebreaker. Maria Taylor didn't vote for Anthony Davis, his first team All-NBA last year, so I'm looking at her like she doesn't do her homework, hashtag alt middle. She's entitled to a different opinion. I mean, there were people who haven't voted for LeBron James over the years to be, man, there was people that voted Steve Nash to be MVP over Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was a monster, winning championships. They gave it to the white dude 2 years back to back. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it because, he must have did something to put himself in that conversation. But Shaq was an unmovable force. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Nat writes, Maria Taylor actually played the sport at a high level. Rachel, not so much. Exactly. Talking about she only got it because she black. That's how they play black executives. That's probably what they was thinking about that dude, the Michael, whatever Smith, whatever his name was, the black dude that was running the United Way. You probably have some Karens and Darrens like, oh, they're just trying to be diverse. No, he earned it. He earned it. Let's go back to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people around the world. And yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, John from Florida. How are you, bro?
Okay. Interesting flows as last hour or so I've been listening to your shows. I seen you come on a little early now. I think around 7 o'clock. You changed the time slot there?
No, about 7:30. We started a couple minutes after, like 7:34 this morning, 7:35.
Your callers were very interesting. A lot of callers, I see you were for and against some of the topics that they were talking about. But, I'm glad you brought up, I like you, watched that Black News Network, which is, I think they launched, it was late last year, early this year, late last year. Interesting format. The brother from Florida, from California that's married to the sister of the Black housewives. Interesting brother. I didn't know he came from the sports genre. Interesting. And his co-host, very attractive black woman, very attractive. And they have a nice chemistry. It's pretty balanced. And during the day and the evening, the show format and setup is very good. So I kind of tune into it every now and then because I like to support my people and I like to know what black news that we don't get on the regular channels. I can pick it up on that channel, and they have a radio program format too. So I think their station is out of Florida. The network was set up out of Florida, but they've been expanding across the country. Their station is down here in my area too. I think in the Miami area, and they simulcast across the country. But the radio station, I can pick up the radio station when I'm driving around here. But anybody that hasn't watched it, I say if you can tune into it, their news format is very good, very good. It see and now I see now politically I have to get involved because I see what the rascally Republicans they've been doing it ever since the election is now changing the format of basically what they're really saying is Negroes, we're going to cancel your vote in the next major election coming down the pipeline. I can see with the press conference at the White House yesterday, and Sharpton and the usual co-hosts showed up to put pressure on Biden, saying, you better do something, Biden, because the midterms is just around the corner. And then you got the major election, too. And I see what the Republicans have done. They moved this up to the Supreme Court to now get some of those Supreme Court people to side with them. And basically what they're doing is saying they're going to cancel your vote. They're going to figure out a way of deleting it. Well, this stuff has been always going on anyway, and both sides do it where they delete and cancel your vote. This time they're going to make it law. So state by state, all of those states that Trump lost they're fixing it where, and I'm glad those sisters, I don't know if you caught that press conference in Texas, the sisters, that committee, the Black Vote Matter, they did their press conference saying, we're not going to take it. So this is a mess going on. And I see it's more like a civil war. Really, that's really what it is. I mean, Black people have fought for this country all the way back to the Revolutionary War, Civil War, Revolutionary War, and every war in this country. And you're going to tell us we cannot vote. So this is becoming a mess, and I predict it's going to get worse between the midterm elections next year and going into the major election in 24. I'd like to hear your comments on where you think all of this is really going to be going. And it is too late to protest? Should we keep protesting? Should we keep marching? Should we keep beating the drums? I think it's really too late. But I'd like to hear your comments anyway.
And so, Mike, you're asking me a direct question about what exactly? I want to make sure that I answer it. I'm a little fuzzy on it. What exactly is your question, or what are you looking to get a comment on?
Well, what do you think with the latest beating the drums on where these regulations and state by states that are going to fix it, where they're going to make it hard for you to vote in the midterm elections coming up next year, as well as the 24 election? The Republicans have set the tone, so they're going to make it very difficult. In other words, I'll give you an example. If you're on a line, say in Florida, where it's hot, and you're sitting out there waiting to cast your vote, some 70 or 80, 84-year-old Black woman sitting there, and somebody pulls up with a box of water bottles. Say, here, I know you've been out here too long. Let me give you a water bottle. They have it in certain states. If the sheriff is out there, they can pull up and give you a citation and a ticket. You cannot give nobody water. That's ridiculous. The polling stations, some of these polling stations are going to cancel it. Some of the ballots, casting your votes by mail, they're setting the tone to make the next election hard, and the Republicans in some of these states to win some of these Congress and Senate seats. This is a mess, and it's going to get worse, too. And if you thought what we saw January the 6th, just imagine if Black people get on the streets. I wonder if the Capitol Police, it's funny. That's one question. The second one is, the second question is, during the Million Man March, and I was there, You imagine if them black men would have marched on that Capitol. You think those Capitol police would have pulled out those guns and fired up on us?
Oh, absolutely, it would have.
But so what bothers me is who gave the orders for the Capitol Police to hold their guns? Do not pull those guns. Do not pull your guns out of their holsters. Who gave those orders? This is what the Republicans don't want this investigation to come down the road, because we do know now that there are several Republicans the day before that were doing tours. And it's camera. If you go into that Capitol building, it's cameras all over the place. They know who was doing tours, who was going up in some of those floors. So this is Nancy Pelosi's office. Here's so-and-so's office. They had a plan, and I'm sure you know what happened in Michigan when that governor, she allowed those thugs, those mobsters to come into that Capitol building of Michigan. They were planning and they set the tone for doing this in Washington. And the Republicans don't want that out, as well as they don't want what Republicans were involved when that January 6th insurrection. But back to the tone that the question I asked you, how do you feel the way the system is being set up and the way the Republicans are setting the tone? Do you feel we have a mess of casting your vote coming down the line next year and as well as 24? And where do you think all of this ultimately is really going?
Okay. Well, listen, let me answer you. Let me get you off the line. I'll answer the question. Have a great weekend, John. I appreciate you.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it seems very simple. I mean, I feel like it's a potential problem. I know that folks here in Cincinnati and Ohio have been going to Columbus and raising awareness, community activists, NAACP. Even on this show, we've talked about it to try to raise awareness and let people know specifically what's going to happen. I think that folks need to organize. Simple as that. They need to organize in terms of information and organizing and make sure we get out the vote, because your vote certainly matters. I think to the smart dumb cats, if they're fair and they're paying attention, why would whoever, in this case is Republican majority, that are leading these efforts to try to legally steal your vote if your vote don't matter? So I think it really underscores what we already know. In a nutshell, that's it. Not sure what else I would have to say about it. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. Ohio families are set to see the first payments from the enhanced child tax credit this week, next week. I think it's like $300 per kid. About $250 to $300 bucks monthly. The payments will start on July 15th, so that's next week. This is all a part of, the relief funds coming from COVID. And I love it. People need relief. If you want to help people with children, you don't give it to the people that they work for, you give it to them. I don't have a problem with this whatsoever. People are going to use this for their rent, for groceries, for mortgages. I don't even care if people use this money to start their own businesses. I got no problem with it. But Ohio families, just want to give you a heads up on this, are set to see the first payments again next week from the enhanced child credit. You got kids, then could be coming towards you soon. So something to look forward to. I don't know about you, but when I go to the mailbox, I'd much rather get a check than a bill any day. Any day. What is this? Tracy posted, where's my Kendu fans at? Mary J. Blige claims ex-husband Kendu Isaac says she is done, fat, and old. This is from newsbreakapp.com. Oh my God. That's what you posting, Tracy? We back on Kendu. I already told you this. We already talked about this. Fellas, let me give you a scenario and tell me what you would do. Let's say that you are married to, let's say, the queen of hip hop soul. And this woman, Mary J. Blige, is not bad to look at. She is not bad to look at. You can do a lot worse. Mary J. Blige at the time, and I remember this, I'll never forget it, was making about $2 million a year. That's what she was reporting to taxes. She's probably making more than that. She's making $2 million a year touring, doing endorsements, and just being like an influencer. Okay. Her husband, black man, and her have no biological kids together. He had kids from a previous relationship that she has accepted. And you telling me that a black man, is going to leave that scenario just because he found some new ussy? I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I find it very hard to believe. I find it very, 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 very hard to believe. I think what's much more likely, and Tracy hates when I says this, is that Mary J. Blige was a bad wife. Because I don't know how many black men is going to leave a situation like that just because he found somebody new. I just don't see that. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I still find it hard to believe, but maybe he said something or something like that. I don't know. Bunky writes, what's up, Nate in the Choppers? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Let me see here. Danita writes, the leaked recording was also a conversation about why two women had to be pitted against each other instead of making room at the table for both women. To me, that is the real conversation. Yeah. Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, black guy plays the clown. Sounds like black Republicans. Danita writes, ESPN has spun that leaked recording to do people aren't talking about the real problem, lack of diversity ESPN. Why is it that one at a time? Why doesn't ESPN look like the people who watch it? Let me see. Drop his line again. His lips are moving. That's hilarious. Let me see what else here. I'm still at the point where Drop was on the line. Let me catch up here. Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, that's a flat out lie. There were Republicans at and in the riot. Right. There were Republican elected officials who were participating in the riot. They were actually there. Drop just has a very convenient memory. Kamika writes, I don't know or care why the GOP continues to pursue Ashley Bashley narrative. I work at the federal building downtown. Let someone breach security and try to crawl through broken windows. They catch a bullet. Right, you gonna catch a bullet. Everybody know that. And you could catch a bullet at a federal building by yourself, let alone you're one of thousands, if not hundreds of people who are mobbing, rioting through the Capitol building. I remember the video like it was yesterday. You could hear the officers say, stop, don't do that, get down, back up, gun drawn. You can see it. She got what she wanted. She wanted that work. She got that work. I don't got no. Bunky writes, Ashley Bobbitt, never heard of her. Oh my God. Again, loss of life. I'm not happy to see that. Condolences to her family. I'm sure they miss her. I'm sure she had people that loved her. So in no way do I want to downplay her death. I'm a human being. I respect all life. However, I believe in Darwinism, right? Sometimes people do things that get their own goose cooked, and that's what she did. She's not an American patriot. She was a terrorist. That's what she was. Storming the Capitol because Trump was lying about how the election was stolen, and there was no facts to support it whatsoever. No facts. To this day, there's no facts. You got Republicans that run elections in these states that Trump lost, and Trump was still complaining that the election was stolen by these Republican officials that wanted him to win. And people believe this. They actually believe this nonsense. So, if that's what you're doing, yes, I do, Crystal. Yes, I do. I love it. I'm telling you, I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. Where is Terrence at? I don't see Terrence in here. He must have said, you know what? F that Nathan Ivey show today. I ain't going in there. Telling me I'm wrong. Fuck he think he is. Excuse my language. The most requested podcast. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Dale writes, man, Nate, please touch on Haiti, meaning the assassination of the Haitian president. I haven't touched on it. I know that The authorities within the last 36 hours, it's been reported that authorities have arrested the perpetrators. I don't know the backstory on it, Daryl. So you got more information on it, brother, please free to drop a link or something, and I'll check it out. Charles writes, Giannis can score, but he has no moves or leadership ability. Rachel writes, Nate, hang up on Drip. Sean writes, too much negative energy. He lied about the whole call. Bold writing, when white privilege goes wrong. That would be a caption. Kathy writes, good morning, all. Good morning to you, Kathy. Bunky writes, to protect and serve. Ashley Babbitt got served. T. Lawrence writes, see what Gottlieb said about Taylor. Okay, Doug Gottlieb. Nothing Rachel Nichols said about Maria Taylor is wrong. You know, white people kill me with this. How many white folks have gotten jobs in television that just because they was white? I mean, here in Cincinnati, and it was real hush hush and quiet. But you got the Association of Greater Cincinnati Association of Black Journalists. Don't forget this. A few months ago, they was making some noise because I think it was Channel 12. They put out a photograph of their on-air personalities. It was no black women. And so they was like, hey, yo, what's up with the lack of diversity at Channel 12? It got hushed up. I haven't heard anything about it whatsoever because that's a very sensitive thing right there. I think that the president of the Cincinnati chapter actually works at the same station that they was talking about. So, you know, that's hella sensitive. Ain't nobody trying to lose their good job now. You got your good job. You on TV, got benefits. You ain't trying to get that up. I get it, but I appreciate the fact it was put out there. So diversity in media is still an issue. In front of the camera, behind the mic, and in ownership, it's still an issue. But when a white woman starts complaining that a black woman got a job, all of a sudden it's legitimate. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Rachel Nichols, born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for black people. And got the nerve to say this sister got a job only because she was black and ESPN was trying to push for diversity. Well, maybe they were, and they should have been. So what? And so what, Rachel? So what? Big deal. I don't have no problem with it whatsoever. If that's what happened, that's what happened. Now, Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, they're on Fox Sports Radio. They ripped into Rachel Nichols for her comments on Maria Taylor. I'm glad to see somebody got some damn sense. I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. You know, you don't always get the job. You don't always get the gig. Somebody might bring something up to you, and then later on, it don't work out. What you gonna cry about it? You just move on. Let me see. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nathan, I heard I was called out this morning.
Yeah, your name came up quite a bit this morning. Good morning to you, Danita.
I didn't get to hear it all because I was getting dressed and ready to take Trey. But the little bit that I did hear, I did want to address. First off, you know, Nate, I'm sure you remember when you were doing the after school program, working with kids. If you're going to, you know, show some correction, you want to start with something positive with them. So I want to start with something positive with Drop. I noticed yesterday in the chat, he wanted to talk about the border wall not being finished under Biden, even though it was started under Trump. And I know how much he loves Trump. So let's give Trump a little bit of praise. In 4 years, Trump finished 200 miles of the border wall that Mexico somehow never paid for. So let's give it up to Trump for those 200 miles in 4 years. But because I'm all about facts, I do want to mention that only 2 of those miles were new walls. So he actually, you know, rebuilt 198 miles and did 2 miles of new walls. So let's give it up to Trump for fixing that in those whole 4 years. Second thing, I heard him talking about Afghanistan and somehow this is now Biden's fault. But I do want to give a shout out to my 8th grade history teacher who taught me that when you're thinking about history, it's not just enough to know What happened? We have to know the why. So the why we were in Afghanistan in the first place is because we were lied to by Baby Bush. That was his daddy's war. We all know that. It was about oil. And he lied to the American people in order for us to go to war. So we can never forget that drop. It was before Biden. It was before Obama that we were in Afghanistan. And the problem with stabilizing Afghanistan is if you pull the troops too soon, you're going to get a whole lot of people killed, drop. That's the problem. You have to stabilize the country that we tore up, America, because we never should have been there in the first place. It wasn't our war. It wasn't a winnable war. And the Republicans, Black, not Democrat, is why we were there. So let's not forget that. Then let's talk about this. There weren't Republicans in the Capitol. Again, shout out to my Walnut Hills education. We got to critically think here. I'm wondering why Democrats would dress up as Republicans to protest an election that they won just to make Donald Trump look bad. Critically thinking, that just don't sound right to me. Does that sound right to you, Nate, that people are going to protest an election that they won?
Not at all.
Not at all. So just don't think that kind of matches up. But maybe that's what Drop thinks, that the Democrats dressed up to protest an election that they won just to make Donald Trump look bad, who was on his way out. Okay, Drop, if that's your reasoning, we are going to let him have that. You know what I mean? Let's just let him have that point. Then my last thing with Drop was, now this rise in crime is somehow Joe Biden's fault across the country. So does that mean all of the killings of Black people under the Trump administration, that was Trump's fault? Because wouldn't that be the same by the same reasoning? Do we blame Trump for all the deaths of innocent Black people? I guess we do. So thanks, Drop, for bringing that to our attention. And my last point on this ESPN issue, honestly, Nate, as a Black female, I don't give a shit about Rachel. I really, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be. I don't care about Rachel. I want the conversation to be, why doesn't ESPN look like the people who watch it? I love sports. Why aren't there more women commentators? Why isn't there more diversity at the table? I think that's what we got to look at. And Fame started off there, and I even typed in the chat, I agree with Fame, so I think it's gonna snow tomorrow. But true to Fame fashion, and he went all off into something else that I just couldn't, I don't understand and I don't agree with. So when people see that I said I agree with Fame, I was with him in the beginning, and then Fame took his turn. But I would like us to have that conversation. Let's look at ESPN for what it is. It's lack of diversity. Don't blame the women. Don't blame ESPN. They're the decision makers. I want to see more diversity. So have a great weekend, Choppers. That's all I got.
Appreciate the call. Racker. Damn. I'm liking this. She coming with the facts. Uh-oh. You called her out, Drop, so you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted, just like that woman that went to the Capitol and ended up getting shot. She got what she wanted. I'm talking about no Republicans were at, you can't even read the news. Drop. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Say Trump, man, told some. It just goes, the Trump administration was a great study on how to control people. Just think about all the lies. Like, people really got this is some Karen and Darren type shit. People really got all excited because Trump was saying he was going to get Mexico to build a wall. The entire time, people with common sense was like, that's never going to happen. But people actually believed it. It never happened. And he only rebuilt, she said, 2 miles of new wall. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I'll take her word for it until I trust, and I'll trust it before I verify it. But I do remember it being something very similar to that. Like, he just rebuilt a whole bunch of the wall that was already up that need to be updated. And there's a very, very small number of actually new building of the walls. Trump told a whole bunch of lies and did not deliver for the people at all. But people believed it though. So I guess That's all that matters. Because that's all that matters. So coming up today, folks, the Is It Just Me podcast with Donnie B. Now, last week we had some issues. Facebook's been tripping. And typically with my show, we've been having some issues, but it's starting to happen with some of the other shows. We'll work it out. I think I've got to correct it. So look for a brand new stream today at 12:30 p.m. The show goes on no matter what, so she was quick on her feet and she just put up a live stream and went straight from the podcast group, which, that works too. But I had some difficulties with it. And I was super disappointed because she has some great flows and because she is a lawyer, a practicing attorney, and has been doing it for, I think she said 20 years. I was hoping that people would listen to her when she was talking about Bill Cosby and breaking it down. And she brought up some things that I never even thought of bringing up. So it was well worth the time. But Bill Cosby was not innocent. Sometimes guilty people get off on technicalities, and that's what appears happened with Bill Cosby. And ever since then, he's been out here. I seen a photograph of him eating pizza. I see the photograph of this man eat pizza. I'm happy. He's home now. I hate to see people incarcerated unless they're rapists like Bill Cosby. And my fear is that another young woman is going to be brutalized because Bill Cosby is free. That's just my thoughts on it. I don't have to be right. It's just my personal viewpoint. I'm just telling you how I look at it. It is what it is. Ray writes, is it too soon to say processed foods are bad for you? Buying LV is sending a wrong message. Some of those funds maybe should be enhanced child scholastics. Put some to the side for a rainy day. If it isn't applicable, this is not towards all. Hey, good morning to you, Miss D. Good morning, CG Dub. Good morning to everybody. I think it's people out there struggling. Paycheck to paycheck, bill to bill. They got bills that's coming up. And if they're going to take that $300 or $350 or whatever it ends up being per child and put it to bills, and that keeps things going for another month, then so be it. We got all kind of tax breaks, and we so sympathetic to the elites, to rich people. We just can't give them enough tax breaks. But then when it comes to working class people, all of a sudden it becomes an issue. And I'm just like, you know what? We got to give something to working class people. We got to give something to people that, some people might call poor, right? That's the word, the right use, the word to use. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something for those kind of folks, man. So I have no problem with relief and extra tax benefits and things like that. I think it's all good. I think it's all gravy. I love it. See here. I'm going to end the show here at 9:30, so about 1 minute. I really appreciate you. Got a couple things I need to do before the Is It Just Me podcast. I really appreciate you. I plan to be back with you on Monday morning, bright and early at 7:30 a.m.-ish. Sometimes the stream takes a little minute longer to get up. I really appreciate you, but I want to make sure that we're up and running for the next show, and appreciate you. If you haven't checked out the Echo Chamber podcast with Brother Christian Boykin on Mondays, he streams at 8 p.m. Make sure you check him out. The brother's doing great work. Okay, you want to check out these voices. Over the weekend, we got Straight Talk Live coming back on Sunday with Ed and Hal. A little bit of that was interrupted a bit. The Melanated Insight podcast or Melanin Insights podcast interrupted a bit. Has some issues kind of uploading things from I was in Cleveland. They don't have the same setup I have here and don't have the same Wi-Fi and internet connections I have here. But both shows plan to come back this weekend on Sunday at 10 a.m. and then again at 5:30 p.m. So you got these different perspectives. Of course, Edna Howe has been in broadcasting for many, many years. She is by far the most iconic host of Straight Talk Live. It's interesting, you got two of the most iconic hosts. I mean, I think that between the two of us, we did it the longest. I think I hosted it a little bit longer than she did or around the same time. But everybody, when you think about Straight Talk Live, you think about Edna Howe first, right? And she's working with CDM. Very happy to work with her. She's doing great work. Check her out on Sundays. A different perspective. Typically, she brings a guest on and they interview it. We're kicking off the show at just 1 hour, but who knows what might happen in the future? We might take it to an hour and a half or 2 hours. You never know. And if you're interested in doing any sponsorship opportunities for that particular podcast, hit me with a direct message and I'll respond to you very, very quickly. All right. To my patrons, Patreon / Nathan Ivy Show. There's a link in today's description. All you gotta do is hit that link. It'll take you to it. And you can choose. You can go to my Patreon feed. Check that. Make sure you can down. They have an app. Okay, just so you know. If you're a patron, that way you can get notifications whenever we're posting stuff in there. And I want to make sure I let you know about what's happening next. And again, let me say this again. I started the show this way. You know, my plan is, see, right now I'm doing stuff from my home studio because of COVID. You know, COVID changed everything. I was renting a little space over on the west side. It was cool for what it was, but it was my first time renting a commercial property. And, you know, sometimes you don't know what you need, you know, but now I have a much better idea of what I need. And I've said it many times over the last few months, as we were getting ready to come out of COVID, I wanted to create a new hub, a creative hub for all of the CDM, you know, creative ideas, and a place where I can have more control of our live streams so I can produce it at a high quality and do the best job we possibly can for our podcasters and for the audience. You know what I'm saying? I 100% believe in what I'm doing. I'm willing to invest in it, and I'm doing just that. And so I had 3 options I was looking at. They were all cool. You know, some offer different things than others in terms of a studio space. And now I've whittled it down to 2. So I'm not yet there. But I want to give my Patreons an update as to what I'm thinking of and, you know, what we're working on here, because you're supporting me and I want to make sure I keep you in the loop. Hey, caller, I'm probably not going to take any more calls. I'm going to end the show here. I want to just talk about this. I appreciate everybody. So just to give you heads up to my patrons, I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. The mission is simple: amplify Black voices in the greater Cincinnati area and beyond. We're already doing it, but we want to turn it up a little bit. And hopefully by the end of the year, maybe we'll have a new space to do so. I want to give you a heads up on it. Okay, so check the Patreon feed starting today and over the weekend so I can update you on what's going on and give you some insights. Also, I want to get your suggestions and your ideas as well. It means everything to me. All right. So again, I'll leave you like that. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Happy Friday, everyone. Make it a great weekend. You out here, you running your family, you're running your businesses. Make sure you take some time to unplug from the matrix and relax, recharge. Okay. Take some time for yourself. I know we probably very similar. You ripping and running and taking care of everybody else's needs, but what about you? What about yourself? Okay, it means everything. Take care of yourself, family. You deserve it. You deserve it. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So make sure you pour into your cup. All right, and I'll leave you just like that. Have an excellent day. And remember our motto: winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. I'm Nate Ivy, and I'm out.